Chiropractic is not for sick people or people with backaches. Chiropractic's for everybody. And it's funny, I talk about this, and you're watching this, and you're saying, boy, I'm glad I don't have one of those subluxations. Yes, you do. And I'll prove it to you right now, if you haven't been going to the chiropractor regularly. Do you ever watch a 1-year-old learning to walk? Learning to stand, to walk, to run? Does the kid ever fall down? Like 30 times a day? Or 300 times a day? Forget the 1-year-old. Let's move up to a 2-year-old. Were you ever 2? Let's watch a day in the life of a 2-year-old. The 2-year-old gets up in the morning. First thing he does is fall out of bed. Whack. Subluxation. Now he gets back in and kicks his brother out. You got 2 of them subluxated. They come down to breakfast 1 step at a time on their rear end. Bump, bump, bump. You think that's good for the spine? Okay, the kid's not subluxated yet. Now let him go out and play. He rolls down the hill. He fights. He wrestles. He falls off his scooter, falls off his skates, falls off his skateboard, falls off his bicycle, falls off his tricycle, falls out of a tree. Just in case he's not subluxated, before he sits down to lunch, he dives into the sofa head first 6 times. See? This was you growing up. You grew up subluxated all of your life. But you didn't have a backache all of your life. You didn't have headaches. If a little girl aged 3 falls off her tricycle and gets a subluxation that damages the nerve supply to the ovaries, she's not going to get menstrual cramps at age 3 or at 13, and maybe not at 23 or 33. But at a certain age, maybe she now comes down with breast cancer, because a known cause of breast cancer is an excess of that female hormone that's made in the ovaries. And it could have come from that fall. The fact is, anything you do to cause a subluxation sets your body chemistry out of balance, and it messes up your entire life. When you have a subluxation, yes, it will interfere with your health capacity, but it will also interfere with your work capacity, your concentration, your memory, your sense of humor, your digestion, your ability to earn a living, your sex life, your relationships with your kids, your friendships with other people. I had a person tell me the other day, she wasn't sure. She said, we've been under chiropractic care for a few months now, and I think something strange is happening. Is it possible that when you get adjusted, food tastes better? Of course, because the taste buds are controlled chemically. I was talking with a dentist who tells me that the chemical content of the saliva is what determines the rate of cavities. That's why they don't want you to eat sweets, because it makes the saliva acid. Well, supposing you have a subluxation that alters your chemistry and makes your saliva more acid, couldn't that give you more dental caries? Well, can you prove that? I don't need to prove it. You have to understand that there's nowhere on God's earth you can have a subluxation that doesn't mess up your life somehow. I don't have to know how. And if you come to me or any other chiropractor with a certain ache or pain or disease and say, was it caused by subluxation? The only honest answer is, I have no idea. But whether that condition is caused by subluxation or not, you don't want to go through life with subluxation. And the point is, every child grows up with subluxations. It really bothers me to see people go to a chiropractor to get well and leave their kids home to get sick. You have to understand one major thing. Vertebral subluxation, this deadly killer, this destroyer of happiness, does not have symptoms. Sitting here right now, you don't know if you have a subluxation. I'm a chiropractor and I've been one for a long time. I don't know if I have a subluxation. It doesn't hurt. So what I do is regularly, at least once a week, I go to my chiropractor and get my spine checked. See, the chiropractor is a trained expert in finding subluxation. I really get frustrated by patients who come in and they say, boy, I really need it today. What they're saying is, I hurt today, therefore I think I must need it. The other side of that is, if you don't hurt, maybe you don't need it. Hey, maybe you don't. But the only way to find out is to see an expert who will check your spine. I wish you had a big red light in the middle of your forehead, and every time you got a subluxation, it would flash. Tilt. Then you look in the mirror, and you know you need a chiropractor. But you don't have a red light. How do you know if you need a chiropractor? Answer, you don't. The only way to find out is to go to a chiropractor who's trained in it, who will check your spine, find subluxations, and correct them. Please don't wait until symptoms show up. You understand, of course, that symptoms are the last stage of disease, not the first stage. Hey, pick up today's newspaper. Wherever you live, and you've come from far and wide, wherever you live, pick up today's newspaper and read about the person who never had a sick day in his life and then keeled over and dropped dead of a heart attack. He didn't go from perfect health to perfect death. Somewhere in between, there was a cause that was ignored month after month and year after year. You don't go to a chiropractor when you're sick, or when you're sick only, waiting for symptoms to show up. Intelligent people go regularly throughout their life, and I would love to see you get your focus away from the sickness and disease that's caused by subluxation and focus instead on all the other lessening of human potential, the loss of energy, the loss of coordination, the loss of stamina, the loss of everything. When you have vertebral subluxation, it affects your entire life by the slow process of poisoning of the body by improper chemical balance. So let's understand, chiropractic is not just for sick people. Virtually everybody got subluxated in childbirth and has been subluxated all of their life, and when you have a subluxation, you have no way of knowing it without having your spine checked by an expert. That's what chiropractic family lifetime maintenance care is all about. If you have a halfway decent car, you don't drive it until the engine seizes up. You have a brain in your head, you get the car serviced regularly. Do the same with your body. If your car engine seizes up, you can throw the damn thing away and buy a new one for money. When your body seizes up because of neglect, it's too late. Don't use chiropractic care as a patch-up. Use it intelligently. The way you get your car serviced, get your body serviced.